The contractions hit like waves of fire across my belly as I gripped the hospital bed rail. But the pain wasn't what made me want to scream. It was the text message lighting up my husband's forgotten phone on the bedside table. Finally! She's occupied. Meet in 5 mins. My name is Sophie, and I'm about to give birth while my best friend is seducing my husband somewhere in this hospital. Where's Mark? I asked the nurse, trying to keep my voice steady. Stella, according to her name tag, checked my vitals before answering. Your husband stepped out for coffee. Would you like me to get him? And Chloe, my friend who was here earlier? Stella's expression flickered with something, concern, maybe pity. I believe I saw them both heading toward the cafeteria, together. Of course. Another contraction ripped through me, and I bit my lip until I tasted blood. As I reached for the water cup, my hand brushed Mark's phone again. The screen lit up with more messages from Chloe. Miss you already. These last few months have been amazing. Once this is over, we can finally be together. My fingers trembled as I scrolled, each message driving the knife deeper. 9 months of pregnancy, and apparently just as many months of betrayal. Every late night at work, every girl's lunch with Chloe. It all made horrible sense now. Sophie, Stella touched my arm gently. Your contractions are getting closer. We should start preparing for delivery. Would you like me to call your husband and friend back? No? The word came out sharper than I intended. Actually, there's someone else I'd like here instead. Of course, whoever you'd like. I took a deep breath, surprised by the name that came to my lips. My sister Piper. She's not on my contact list, but I rattled off her number from memory, amazed I still knew it after 3 years of silence. The sister you haven't spoken to since Mum's funeral? Chloe's voice made me freeze. She stood in the doorway, all fake concern and practice innocence. Honey, you're not thinking clearly. You need Mark and me here. The pet name made my stomach turn. Or maybe that was another contraction. Where's my husband, Chloe? She didn't even have the decency to flinch. Getting coffee? Why? Funny. You'd think after 15 years of friendship you'd be a better liar. Colour drained from her face. Sophie, you're in labour. You're emotional. Whatever you think, get out. My voice was ice. Both of you can wait outside. I want my sister. But now! Stella stepped between us, her nurse's authority taking over. Ma'am, please respect the patient's wishes. I'll have security escort you to the waiting area. As Chloe backed away, I heard Mark's voice in the hall. Babe, what's wrong? I got your text. He stopped short, realising his mistake. Wrong, babe. Mr. Gardner, Stella called out. Your wife has requested privacy during delivery. Please wait outside. I closed my eyes, letting tears fall freely now. Through the wall, I heard their heated whispers, Chloe's voice rising. She knows! This wasn't supposed to happen yet. They had it all planned out. My phone buzzed. Piper's response. On my way. Hold on, little sister. The same words she'd said at Mum's funeral, right before everything fell apart. Before she left me alone with our grief and Dad's disappointment. Before I'd turned to Chloe for support, letting her become the sister I thought I'd lost. Another contraction seized me and I screamed, as if for the pain, for the betrayal, for 3 years of stubborn silence with the one person I needed most right now. Sophie! Piper burst through the door, leather jacket still on, helmet hair wild. She looked exactly the same, down to the worry lines between her eyes. I got here as fast as I could. Our eyes met, and suddenly I was sobbing. Without a word, she crossed the room and took my hand. I know, she whispered. I know everything now, but first, let's bring this baby into the world. Then we'll burn it all down together. For the first time since seeing that text message, I smiled. It wasn't the happy ending I planned, but maybe it was the beginning I needed. Push, Sophie, you're almost there! Piper's grip on my hand was fierce as another contraction peaked. I can't, I gasped, sweat dripping down my face. It hurts too much. Yes, you can. You're stronger than you think. Remember when you punched Tommy Wilson in 3rd grade for pulling my hair? Despite the pain, I laughed. You're the one who taught me how to throw a punch. And now I'm teaching you how to push. Come on, little sister. A commotion erupted outside the delivery room. Mark's voice carried through the door. "That's my wife in there. You can't keep me out." "The hell we can't," Piper muttered, then louder to Stella. "Don't let them in." "He deserves to be here too." Chloe's shrill voice made my blood boil. "Sophie's being ridiculous. He deserves happiness too." The words echoed through the hall, followed by what sounded like a scuffle with security. Piper's face darkened. "I'm going to kill them both." "Not yet," I panted. "First, help me deliver this baby. Then we plan." "Sophie," Stella interrupted gently. "One more big push. Your daughter's almost here." I bore down with everything I had, screaming through clenched teeth. The pressure built until I thought I would split in two, and then a cry, sharp and clear and perfect. "She's here." Stella lifted my daughter, red-faced and angry at the world. "Would you like to hold her?" As they placed her on my chest, memories flooded back. The last time Piper and I had been in a hospital together. Mom's final days, Dad's crushing silence, the weight of expectations neither of us could meet. "I'm sorry," Piper whispered, stroking my hair like she used to when we were kids. "I'm sorry I left you alone after Mom died. I couldn't handle Dad's disappointment anymore." "You were always his rebel," I said softly, counting my daughter's tiny fingers. "And I was his perfect princess, until I wasn't. Is that why you married Mark? To keep being perfect?" I closed my eyes. Maybe. Or maybe I just wanted someone who wouldn't leave. "How'd that work out?" Her tone was gentle, but the words stung. "About as well as running away to become a motorcycle mechanic worked for you." "Hey, I own that shop now." Piper's smile faded. "Look, Sophie, I know I messed up, but I'm here now, and I'm not leaving again." A knock at the door made us both tense. Stella poked her head in. "Sophie, your husband is insisting on seeing the baby." "Hospital policy says..." "Policy says nothing about cheating spouses," Piper snapped. "Pipes, it's okay." I adjusted my daughter in my arms. "Let him in. Just him." Mark entered cautiously, his face a mask of guilt and fake concern. "Sophie, baby, I can explain." "Don't!" My voice was steel. "Meet your daughter. That's all you get right now." He stepped closer, reaching out. I pulled back instinctively. "Sophie, please. Whatever you think you know, I know everything," I cut him off. "Every text, every lie, every time you were with her while I was carrying your child." His face crumpled. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. We were going to tell you after the baby." "Get out!" Piper stood, her presence suddenly filling the room. "Before I throw you out." "This isn't over," he said, backing away. "That's my daughter, too." As the door closed behind him, I looked down at my sleeping baby, so innocent, so unaware of the storm brewing around her. "You're worth starting a war for," I whispered. Piper sat on the edge of my bed. "What are you going to do?" "First, I'm going to name her." I touched my daughter's cheek. "Savannah. It means open plain, somewhere you can see trouble coming from miles away." "And then?" I met my sister's eyes, seeing the same fire that used to terrify our father. "Then we're going to make them wish they'd never betrayed me." Piper grinned, wild and fierce. "Now that sounds like my little sister." Savannah stirred in my arms and I held her closer. Mark and Chloe thought they'd won, thought they'd wait until after the birth to break my heart. But they'd forgotten one thing. I wasn't alone anymore. "They're both passed out in the waiting room," Piper whispered, slipping back into my hospital room at 3 a.m. "Got their phones just like you asked." I shifted Savannah to one arm, reaching for the devices. "Did anyone see you? Please." "I used to steal Dad's car keys while he was holding them." She handed me Mark's phone first. "What exactly are we looking for?" "Evidence." My fingers flew over the screen, muscle memory providing his password. Mark's terrible at covering his tracks, always has been. The photos loaded first, dozens of them. Chloe and Mark at restaurants I'd never been to, stolen kisses in dark corners, hotel room selfies while I was at prenatal appointments. The absolute piece of... Piper stopped herself, glancing at Savannah. "What's the plan?" "First, I'm sending everything to myself." I worked quickly, forwarding messages, screenshots and location data. Then I'm calling my lawyer. At 3 a.m. Patricia works weird hours. She's probably still up. I dialed, keeping my voice low. Patricia, it's Sophie. I need emergency custody paperwork drawn up, and I want to change my will. Piper's eyes widened as I detailed my requests. Full custody. Supervised visitation only. Piper named as guardian if anything happened to me. Are you sure? She asked when I hung up. About making me guardian? You're the only one I trust. I picked up Chloe's phone next. Besides, you came when I called. That counts for something. Her journal app was a goldmine of delusion. Entry after entry about true love and destiny and how Mark deserved better than boring pregnant Sophie. Listen to this, I said, reading aloud. Finally won. After years of watching her get everything, the perfect grades, the perfect husband, the perfect life, I'm taking it all. Mark loves me more. He'll leave her once the baby comes. We've planned everything. I'm going to be sick, Piper muttered. Wait, there's more. Sophie never deserved him anyway. She's just like her pathetic sister, pretending to be perfect while judging everyone else. Piper snorted. Wow. She really doesn't know you at all, does she? Apparently not. I forwarded everything to my email, then deleted the evidence of my snooping. Help me up. There's one more thing I need to do. Should you be walking? Stella said movement is good. Besides, I need to burn something. From my hospital bag, I pulled out an old photo album. Pictures of me, Mark, and Chloe through the years. Vacations, parties, my wedding day. 15 years of friendship turned to ash. There's a small courtyard downstairs, Piper said. I saw it earlier. We made our way down, me shuffling in my robe while Piper carried Savannah. In the quiet courtyard, I tore out page after page, feeding them into the metal trash can. Got a light? I asked. Piper pulled out a Zippo. Never leave home without it. The flames caught quickly, devouring smiling faces and frozen memories. I watched until there was nothing left but embers. Feel better? Piper asked. Getting there. My phone buzzed, a text from Mark. Sophie, where are you? Please talk to me. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Another buzz. Chloe means nothing. It was stupid. I want our family. Look who's crawling back, Piper sneered. I deleted the messages without responding. He's not sorry he did it. He's sorry he got caught. What's next? Now? I looked down at my daughter, peaceful in her aunt's arms. Now we go home. I change the locks. And when they show up tomorrow expecting forgiveness, they get war instead? Exactly. I touched Savannah's cheek. No one's going to hurt us again, baby girl. Mommy promises. As we headed back inside, Piper squeezed my shoulder. You know what Mom would say right now. Sometimes the best revenge is living well. No, Piper grinned. She'd say, make the bastards pay. For the first time in hours, I laughed. Mom always did have a mean streak. Wonder where we got it from. Back in my room, I settled in with Savannah while Piper returned the phones. Tomorrow would bring chaos. But tonight? Tonight I had my daughter, my sister, and a plan. Mark and Chloe thought they'd written the ending to this story. They were about to learn it was only the beginning. The locksmith finished just as the sun rose. All done, Mum. New locks installed on every door. Thank you. I handed him cash, extra to ensure he'd come so early. And the security cameras? All set. Mobile alerts whenever someone approaches the house. Piper watched from the porch, Savannah sleeping against her chest. You sure about this? Positive. I picked up the box of Chloe's things, clothes, makeup, jewellery she'd accidentally left at my house over the months. Items that now felt like markers of territory rather than friendship. I placed the box on the front lawn, securing it with packing tape. On top, I left a manila envelope containing a USB drive and divorce papers, courtesy of Patricia's all-night work. How long do you think before they show up? Piper asked. My phone buzzed with a security alert. Now, apparently. Mark's car pulled into the driveway, Chloe in the passenger seat. They looked rumpled, tired, but oddly triumphant, like they thought this was their moment. Ready? I asked Piper. Born ready. Mark reached the door first and key extended. It didn't fit. What the hell? He tried again, jiggling the lock. Problem? I called from the porch swing. They spun around. Chloe's fake smile appeared instantly. Sophie, we were so worried when you left the hospital early. Were you? I stood slowly. Worried about me or worried about your plans falling apart? Baby, please. Mark stepped forward. Let's talk about this. Nothing to talk about. Your things are being packed as we speak. The movers will be here at noon. Chloe spotted the box on the lawn. What's this? She ripped open the envelope, the USB drive falling to the ground. Evidence, I said simply. Every text, every photo, every hotel receipt, plus a lovely video from the hospital where you announced how Mark deserves happiness too, while I was in labour. The colour drained from her face. You went through our phones? You went through my husband, so I'd say we're even. Mark lunged for the USB. Sophie, stop this. Think about our daughter. I am thinking about her. That's why you'll find custody papers in there too. My lawyer's already filed them. You can't do this, Chloe shrieked, drawing attention from neighbours. We love each other. Tell her, Mark. But Mark was reading the divorce papers, his face growing paler. You're asking for full custody? Not asking. Demanding. With evidence of adultery and abandonment during childbirth, no judge will rule in your favour. This is insane. Chloe grabbed Mark's arm. We had a plan. Tell her about the plan. The plan? I laughed coldly. To wait until I gave birth, then break the news. Move in together while I'm too exhausted with a newborn to fight back. More neighbours were watching now. Mrs. Rodriguez next door didn't even pretend to water her plants anymore. You're making a scene, Mark hissed. No, you made the scene when you fucked my best friend. Chloe slapped Mark suddenly hard. This is your fault. You said she wouldn't fight back. My fault? He stepped back, rubbing his cheek. You're the one who couldn't wait. Always pushing, always texting, always... Always what, Mark? I interrupted. Always available while your pregnant wife was at doctor's appointments. Always eager while I was throwing up morning sickness. I didn't, he started, mean to hurt me. Funny how cheaters always say that. Savannah started crying. Piper rocked her gently, shooting daggers at Mark and Chloe. That's my daughter, Mark said weakly. Not according to the paperwork you'll be receiving. Supervised visitation only, if you're lucky. You bitch! Chloe lunged forward, but Piper stepped between us. Try it, my sister growled. Give me a reason. Chloe backed away, grabbing the box of her things. This isn't over. Actually, it is. I turned to go inside. The movers come at noon, Mark. Be gone before then. Sophie, please. Oh, and Chloe. I paused at the door. Check your social media. That USB drive. I made copies. Their phones started buzzing simultaneously, probably notifications from the private group where I'd just uploaded everything. As the door closed behind me, I heard Chloe's scream of rage and Mark's car peeling out of the driveway. Damn, sis, Piper whistled. Remind me never to cross you. I took Savannah from her, breathing in that perfect baby smell. They thought they were writing my ending. Instead, they wrote their own. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since the video went live. I ignored most messages, but one caught my eye. Jake, Chloe's younger brother. Can we meet? I need to tell you something. I showed Piper the message. What do you think? Could be a trap, she said, bouncing Savannah gently. But Jake always hated how Chloe treated people. Meet me at Carter's Coffee in an hour, I texted back. The cafe was busy enough to be safe, quiet enough to talk. Jake sat in a corner booth, looking nervous. Thanks for coming, he said as I slid in across from him. I saw the video. And I'm not surprised. He ran a hand through his hair. Look, there's something you should know about Chloe, something that happened in college. I was there in college, I reminded him. Not for this. Remember when she studied abroad in Paris? Junior year. She met that French guy. What was his name? Antoine. Except she didn't meet him there. She met him here at a bar. He was married to her roommate's sister. My stomach dropped. What? Chloe pursued him for months, convinced him his wife didn't understand him. Sound familiar? She told everyone they met in Paris, but she told everyone a lot of things. Jake pulled out his phone. I saved the emails. The sister sent them to our parents, but they refused to believe it, called her a liar. Just like Mark and I are liars. A new voice made us both jump. Chloe stood by our table, eyes wild. Telling stories about me, baby brother. Not stories. Truth. Jake stood his ground. Someone needs to know. Know what? That you've always been jealous? Always trying to ruin my life? You ruined your own life, he shot back. Just like you tried to ruin Sophie's? Other customers were staring now. A barista stepped forward. Is everything okay here? Fine, Chloe snapped. Just having a chat with my backstabbing brother and the woman who destroyed my happiness. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Your happiness? You mean my husband? He loves me. We were meant to be together. Like you and Antoine were meant to be together? Jake asked quietly. Chloe's face contorted. That was different. How? Because this time you succeeded in breaking up a marriage. Security, the barista called out. We need assistance. You're pathetic, Chloe spat at me. Both of you. Mark will see that. He'll come back to me. Actually, Jake pulled up something on his phone. According to his social media, Mark just checked into a flight to Seattle, alone. The colour drained from Chloe's face. She grabbed for Jake's phone, but security arrived first. Mom, you need to leave. Fine. She straightened her designer jacket. This isn't over, Sophie. You think you've won? I'm just getting started. As security escorted her out, Jake slumped in his seat. I'm sorry. I should have warned you years ago. Why didn't you? She's my sister. I kept hoping she'd change. He smiled sadly. Pretty stupid, huh? Not stupid. Human. I touched his hand. Thank you for telling me now. My phone buzzed. Piper sending a photo of Savannah sleeping. Below it, a message. Mark's lawyer called. He's not contesting custody. Running away, I muttered. Typical. What will you do now? Jake asked. Focus on my daughter. Rebuild. I stood to leave. You should know, I'm not dropping the lawsuit against Chloe. The harassment charges stick. Good. He looked relieved. Maybe it'll finally make her face consequences. Outside, the autumn air was crisp. My phone kept lighting up with notifications. Friends choosing sides, family offering support, strangers sharing similar stories of betrayal. I ignored them all and called Piper. How's my girl? Which one? Piper laughed. Your daughter's perfect. And you're doing pretty well yourself. Mark's gone to Seattle. I know. Good riddance. Chloe showed up at the cafe. Want me to go find her? I still have my motorcycle boots on. I smiled, heading to my car. No. Let her self-destruct. She's good at that. Coming home? Home. Where my sister and daughter waited, where no lies or betrayals could touch us. Yeah, I said. I'm coming home. You need to stop checking their social media, Piper said, plucking my phone from my hands. It's been 3 weeks. I'm not checking on them, I protested. I'm documenting everything for the court case. Right. That's why you're looking at Mark's vacation photos from Seattle at 2 a.m. while Savannah sleeps. I slumped on the couch. Fine. Maybe I'm a little obsessed. A little? Piper scrolled through my browser history. You've looked up Chloe's LinkedIn profile 6 times today. She's trying to get a job at Mark's company's Seattle office. See? This is what I mean. Piper sat beside me. You're letting them live rent-free in your head. They destroyed my marriage. No, they showed you it was already broken. She softened her tone. Sophie, you're burning yourself out with this revenge thing. As if on cue, my phone buzzed. A text from Mark. Can we talk? Please? I'm back in town. Don't, Piper warned. I have to. It's about Savannah. No, it's about his guilt. Don't let him. But I was already typing. Coffee shop on 5th. 30 minutes. Mark looked terrible when I arrived, and unshaven, dark circles under his eyes. Good. Sophie, he stood awkwardly. Thank you for meeting me. Make it quick. Savannah will need feeding soon. How is she? His voice cracked. Perfect, healthy, happy, no thanks to you. He flinched. I deserve that. You deserve worse." "I know." He stared into his coffee. "I messed up. Badly." "But I was confused, feeling left out with the baby coming." "So you decided to sleep with my best friend?" "It wasn't like that at first. We just talked. She understood me." "Understood what?" I leaned forward. "How hard it was for you while I was growing your child. How difficult your life was while I had morning sickness." "I was weak," he whispered. "No, you were selfish. There's a difference." "Chloe and it's over." "She followed me to Seattle, showed up at my hotel. Let me guess. She wasn't the dream girl anymore once she became real." He looked away. "I want to see Savannah. The custody hearing is next month. Until then, no." "Sophie, please, I'm her father." "Really? Because fathers don't abandon their children during birth to hook up with someone else?" His phone buzzed. Chloe's name flashing on screen. He declined the call. "Still not done with you, is she?" I stood to leave. "Wait!" He grabbed my wrist. "I never meant... Don't touch me." I yanked away just as another voice cut through the cafe. "Get your hands off her!" Piper appeared, practically materializing beside our table. "I was following you," she explained before I could ask. "Someone had to be the backup plan." Mark backed away. "I just wanted to talk." "Talk to our lawyers," Piper snapped. "That's all you get now." Outside, I finally let the tears fall. I hate that he can still affect me like this. Of course he can. You loved him. Piper hugged me. But loving someone doesn't mean letting them destroy you. My phone buzzed again. Jake this time. "Heads up. Chloe's telling everyone she's pregnant with Mark's baby." "Oh God," I showed Piper the message. "That's impossible," she said. "The timeline doesn't work." "Since when has reality stopped Chloe?" "You know what? Good." Piper's eyes gleamed. "Let her make that claim." "In court. Why?" "Because lying under oath is a felony. And I bet she can't produce any proof." I wiped my eyes, feeling stronger. "You're right. Let her dig her own grave." "Now can we go home? Your daughter probably misses us." "Our daughter," I corrected. "You're as much her family as anyone." "Better family," Piper grinned. "I'd never sleep with your husband." "Too soon." But I was laughing as we walked to the car. Mark wanted to play victim. Let him. Chloe wanted to spread lies. Let her. I had something better. Truth, strength, and a sister who'd never leave again. "Ice cream," Piper suggested. "I think we earned it." "Definitely. But first I need to call Patricia." "Why?" I smiled grimly. "Because if Chloe wants to claim she's carrying Mark's baby, I want that documented. Every lie they tell is another nail in their coffin." The courthouse hallway buzzed with tension. Chloe sat on one bench, hand dramatically placed over her supposedly pregnant belly. Mark paced nearby, refusing to look at her. Their lawyers whispered urgently to each other. "Ready?" Piper squeezed my hand. "Born ready." I adjusted Savannah in her carrier. "Patricia says we have this in the bag." "All rise," the bailiff called as we entered the courtroom. The Honourable Judge Martinez presiding. The next hour was a blur of legal terms and evidence presentation. Patricia methodically laid out the timeline of betrayal, texts, photos, hotel receipts. The video from the hospital played, Chloe's voice crystal clear. "He deserves happiness too." Then came the bombshell. "Your Honour," Patricia stood, "I'd like to address Ms. Harding's recent claim of pregnancy." Chloe straightened, touching her stomach again. Her lawyer shifted uncomfortably. "Ms. Harding claims she's carrying Mr. Gardner's child," Patricia continued. "However, we have her medical records from last month showing she had an IUD in place during the entire affair." The courtroom erupted in whispers. Chloe's face went white. "Furthermore," Patricia held up a document, "we have a statement from her gynecologist confirming she's not currently pregnant." "Objection!" Chloe's lawyer jumped up. "Those records are private." "Which Ms. Harding waived privacy rights to when she made her pregnancy central to this case," Judge Martinez replied. "Continue, counsellor." "You bitch!" Chloe stood suddenly. "You had no right to—" "Miss Harding," the judge warned, "control yourself or be held in contempt." "This is all her fault," Chloe pointed at me. "She stole my medical records. She—" "Your Honour," Mark's lawyer interrupted. "My client wishes to make a statement." Mark stood slowly, looking defeated. "I want to withdraw my custody petition." "What?" Chloe shrieked. "Mark, no!" He swallowed hard. "I wasn't there when my daughter was born, because I was with Chloe. I've missed her first weeks because I ran away to Seattle. I'm not fit to be her father right now." "You're damn right," Piper muttered beside me. "The court acknowledges Mr. Gardner's withdrawal," Judge Martinez nodded. "Ms. Harding, do you have anything to add before I rule on the harassment charges?" Chloe stood again, trembling. "Everything I did for love. Mark and I." "Mark and you nothing," he cut her off. "It's over, Chloe. It was never real." "But you said I was weak." "Stupid." "Sophie," he turned to me. "I know it means nothing now, but I'm sorry." "You're right," I said clearly. "It means nothing." Judge Martinez cleared her throat. "Given the evidence presented, including Ms. Harding's false pregnancy claims and continued harassment, this court rules in favour of the plaintiff. Ms. Shaw is granted full custody with Mr. Gardner limited to supervised visitation after completing parenting classes and counselling." She turned to Chloe. "Ms. Harding, you are ordered to maintain a distance of at least 500 feet from Ms. Shaw and her child. Violation will result in immediate arrest." "This isn't fair!" Chloe's mascara ran as she cried. "We were in love!" "No," Mark said quietly. "We were selfish. There's a difference." My own words thrown back at him. Fitting. "Court adjourned," Judge Martinez declared. Outside, Chloe tried one last time to approach Mark, but he walked away. She stood alone, mascara stained and shaking, as her lawyer attempted damage control. "Sophie," Mark called softly, Can I just look at her? Please?" I hesitated, then turned Savannah's carrier toward him. She was awake, blue eyes bright. "She has your smile," he said, voice breaking. "She has my strength," I corrected. "Goodbye, Mark." Piper and I walked out into the sunlight, leaving them both behind, Mark with his guilt, Chloe with her lies. "You okay?" Piper asked. "Better than okay." I lifted Savannah from her carrier, kissing her forehead. "We won." "We did more than win," Piper grinned. "We destroyed them with the truth. That's poetry." My phone buzzed. Jake. "Proud of you. Chloe needed this wake-up call." "Think she'll learn from it?" I asked Piper. "Does it matter?" "She's not our problem anymore." She was right. Chloe, Mark, their drama. It was all behind us now. Ahead was something better. Family, truth, and the kind of strength that comes from surviving betrayal. "Let's go home," I said, and meant it with my whole heart. "Look who finally learned to crawl," I called out as Savannah scooted across the living room floor. Piper poked her head in from the kitchen. "She's making a break for it. Just like her aunt," I laughed, scooping up my daughter before she could reach the stairs. Always on the move. The doorbell rang. Through the security camera, I saw Mark standing on the porch, envelope in hand. "Right on time," Piper muttered. "Want me to get rid of him?" "No, I've got this." I opened the door, keeping Savannah on my hip. Mark looked better than the last time I'd seen him, clean-shaven, clear-eyed. "The court said I could send letters," he said quickly. "1 per month." "I know." I didn't take the envelope. "But I haven't read the others either." "Others?" His face fell. "How many?" 6. They're in a drawer somewhere. "Sophie, please. I've been going to therapy. I'm trying to..." "To what? Make amends? Get your family back?" I bounced Savannah as she fussed. "Some things can't be fixed, Mark." "I know that. But she's still my daughter." "No. She's my daughter." "You're just the man who wasn't there when she was born," he flinched. "Have you heard from Chloe?" "Not since she lost her job at the Seattle office. Jake says she's moved back in with their parents. I heard she's in therapy too." "Good for her. Still not my problem." Savannah reached for Mark's envelope, curious about the bright blue paper. "She has your eyes," he said softly. "She has everything she needs." I stepped back. "Goodbye, Mark." Inside, Piper was pretending not to eavesdrop. "You okay?" "Actually, yes." I put Savannah down, watching her crawl toward her toys. For the first time, I really am. My phone buzzed. A text from Jake. Dad finally kicked Chloe out. She's moving to California. Thought you should know. Good riddance, Piper read over my shoulder. Hey, speaking of moving, you're not leaving, are you? Opposite. The apartment above my shop is empty. I was thinking of giving up my place, moving closer. Yes! I hugged her hard. You practically live here anyway. True. Plus, someone needs to teach Savannah how to throw a proper punch. Not until she's at least 5. 4.5. Final offer. The doorbell rang again. This time it was Dad. I brought dinner, he said gruffly, holding up takeout bags, if that's okay. Ever since the court case, he'd been trying, really trying, to rebuild bridges with both of us. Come in, I said. Savannah just learned to crawl, his face lit up. Really? My granddaughter's growing so fast. Want to see? Piper asked, and the surprise on Dad's face at her friendly tone made my heart ache. We gathered in the living room, watching Savannah show off her new skills. Dad asked about Piper's shop. Piper asked about his garden. I sat back, soaking it in. Sophie? Dad's voice was hesitant. I've been meaning to say, your mother would be proud. Of both of you. Both? Piper's eyebrows shot up. Yes. You for coming back when your sister needed you, and Sophie for being strong enough to start over. We learned from the best, I said softly. Mum never took anyone's crap either. Dad laughed. Actually laughed. No, she certainly didn't. Savannah chose that moment to crawl into his lap, drooling on his expensive shirt. He didn't even flinch. The truth didn't set me free, I said, remembering my words from months ago. But family did. Real family. Speaking of truth, Piper grinned. Dad, wait till you hear what happened to Chloe's fake pregnancy story in court. As they talked and laughed, I picked up Mark's unread letter. Without opening it, I dropped it in the shredder. Some chapters needed to stay closed, but others? They were just beginning. Savannah squealed with delight as Dad lifted her high, Piper making silly faces beside them. This was my story now. Not a tragedy of betrayal, but a triumph of truth. And truth, it turns out, was better than any fairy tale ending.